The bang rattled the walls, a violent punctuation to my father's laughter. The door crashed open. For a split second, their faces, smug, greedy, certain they had beaten me, froze into masks of confusion. I didn't flinch. I had been waiting for this exact moment. But to understand why, you need to know what came before. Family, a word I used to hold like a warm stone in my chest. My father's voice had once been the sound of safety, my mother's eyes the reassurance that no storm could reach me. I believed in loyalty, in love unshakable, in blood that bound. That illusion shattered slowly, and then all at once. At first, it was subtle, the way my father's compliments came with a sting, the way my mother smiled while twisting the knife. "You're doing so well," she'd say, "but don't forget who gave you everything." I brushed it off, convinced it was just their way. But then came the reunion, a full house, the smell of roasted meat and cheap wine, laughter echoing off the walls of the home I grew up in. I felt good, almost naive enough to believe the warmth was real. I even made a toast. I thanked them for teaching me resilience, for pushing me to succeed. When I hugged my father goodnight, I didn't know my life savings were already gone. The discovery came the next morning. I opened my account, and the numbers hit me like a gut punch. Zeros stripped away, replaced with a mocking emptiness. Every cent I had worked for, gone. My hands shook. I called the bank. The transfers were authorized, my parents' names linked to each one. I confronted them. My voice trembled, but not from fear, from something darker. My father smirked. We needed it more. Family looks out for each other. Family. The word felt like poison on his tongue. I reached for my bag. My nails dug into the leather. "Then you won't mind what's coming next." They laughed. My uncles joined in. My mother hid her smile behind a wineglass. They thought I was bluffing. That's when the bang came. The plan hadn't started that night. It started years ago. Every jab, every manipulation, every time they tried to keep me small, I remembered. I studied their weaknesses, their arrogance, their greed. I built my independence quietly. Certifications, credentials, assets in my name alone. And I built walls of legal compliance around it all. They thought draining one account would cripple me. They didn't realize I had layered protections like traps, waiting for a trigger. When the money vanished, I didn't crumble. I documented. Screenshots, transfer records, access logs. I knew the law better than they did. And I had one more weapon, connections they didn't know I had. So I made a call. Not to the police, not yet. To the regulators. Fraud. Elder exploitation clauses. Financial abuse statutes. The kind of words that make auditors salivate. Then I waited. The door that burst open that night wasn't the police. It was the enforcement team. Suits, badges, files thicker than bricks. My father's laughter died in his throat. My mother's wineglass cracked in her hand. "Mr. and Mrs. Hale," the lead investigator barked, "we need you to come with us." Chaos erupted. My uncle shouted. My mother protested. My father roared about family business being private. But the papers hit the table with a slap, and the silence that followed was sweeter than music. I sat still, calm, watching. The investigator turned to me. "Thank you for your cooperation." My father's head snapped toward me. His eyes burned with betrayal, the kind he thought belonged to me, not him. "You did this?" His voice cracked. I met his gaze, steady. "You drained my future. I just drained yours." The fallout was surgical. Accounts frozen, assets seized, audits spiraling into every corner of their financial life. Every cousin who thought they'd inherit a piece of the pie found nothing but ashes. And me? I walked away untouched. My secondary accounts intact, my assets offshore, untouchable. I had planned for their betrayal long before they even considered it. I didn't just survive, I inherited silence, control, freedom. The confrontation didn't end in that living room. It carried into the boardrooms where my father once bragged about his empire, into the courtrooms where my mother's polished image cracked under the weight of discovery. They called me ruthless, cold, a traitor to my blood. I called it justice. Do you want to know the cruelest part? I still loved them. Some part of me, the child they raised, the daughter who once believed in bedtime stories and Sunday dinners, still ached for them to choose differently, to apologize, to be better. But love without respect is chains, and I chose the key. The last time I saw my father, he wasn't laughing. He was small, shrunken behind bars of his own making. He pressed his hand to the glass. I didn't lift mine. "You destroyed us," he whispered. "No," I said softly. "You did. I just made